The night I discovered my wife had gone out with another man, I didn't scream, break anything, or beg her to explain. After 24 years of marriage, I had learned that silence could say more than anger ever could. My wife, Laura, had always told me that I was the only man she would ever need. We had built a life together, raised 2 children, survived financial struggles, celebrated anniversaries, and stood beside each other through the hardest moments. I believed our marriage was unbreakable. Then one Friday night, everything changed. Laura told me she was meeting a friend for dinner. She dressed differently than usual, put on perfume, and spent almost an hour choosing what to wear. "Don't wait up," she said casually. I smiled and kissed her goodbye. But something inside me felt wrong. Around midnight, she still wasn't home. I checked my phone and saw a message from an unknown number. "I think you deserve to know where your wife really is." Attached was a photograph. Laura was sitting across from another man at an expensive restaurant. His hand was resting on hers. My heart dropped. I stared at the picture for several minutes, hoping there was some innocent explanation. Then another message arrived. "This isn't the first time?" That sentence destroyed the last bit of trust I had left. When Laura finally came home at nearly 2 in the morning, she walked through the door smiling. "Long night," she said. I looked at her and quietly asked, "Who was he?" Her smile disappeared. For a few seconds, she said nothing. Then she sighed and whispered, "His name is Daniel." I felt like the floor had disappeared beneath me. "How long?" Laura looked away. 6 months. 6 months. While I was sleeping beside her, paying our bills, planning our future, and believing I was still married to the woman I loved, she had been living another life. I asked her if she loved him. She didn't answer. That silence was enough. The next morning, I didn't confront Daniel. I didn't threaten anyone. I simply called a lawyer. Laura laughed when she found out. "You're actually taking legal action over dinner?" I looked her straight in the eyes. "This isn't about dinner. It's about 6 months of lies. Our finances, our property, and everything we built together." For the first time, she realized I wasn't bluffing. My lawyer helped me secure copies of our financial records, document the evidence I already had, and understand my legal options. I didn't want revenge. I wanted to protect myself from losing everything because of someone else's choices. A few days later, Laura came home crying. "Please don't destroy 24 years over one mistake." I almost laughed. "One mistake?" I asked. "You made a choice every time you met him. Every message, every lie, every time you came home and pretended everything was normal." She had no answer. Then she told me Daniel had promised to leave his own relationship for her. But now that the truth was exposed, Daniel had stopped answering her calls. Suddenly, the man she had risked our marriage for didn't want her anymore. She begged me for another chance. I wanted to say yes. 24 years of memories don't disappear overnight. But then I remembered that photograph. I remembered sitting alone at midnight, wondering why the woman I loved was holding another man's hand. So I made my decision. I filed for divorce and protected my legal and financial interests before emotions could cloud my judgment. Months later, the divorce was finalized. Laura lost the husband she had taken for granted, and I lost the future I thought I was going to have. But I gained something I hadn't realized I had lost years earlier: myself. The hardest lesson wasn't that my wife cheated. It was realizing that I had spent 24 years believing love meant trusting someone completely. Now I understand something different. Love deserves trust, but trust must be earned every single day. And when someone destroys that trust, you don't have to destroy yourself trying to save the relationship alone.